to the Spurs News Podcast, your home for all things Tottenham Hotspur. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode of the Spurs News Podcast. The international break is behind us. We have returned. I am Sam. Joining me to discuss all the mad world of Tottenham Hotspur, where hopefully no executive chairman resigned mid-show. It's Stefan.
Can we go just for a nice, simple show today? Does that sound
Yes.
acceptable?
Yes, it's acceptable. As everyone would have noticed, we did take a week off with the international break. I think it was just going to take that long for all of the kind of fallout to settle in our minds. But yes, a new day is here, a new era has dawned, and we are undefeated without conceding a goal so far under the stewardship of the Lewis family.
Check that out. I like the fact that they have kind of put everywhere, haven't they? Like, I've never seen the name Lewis family, or just the Lewis part, dropped so often in such a short amount of time.
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny, because it's a rebrand. Like, nothing has changed. Daniel Levy, day-to-day running of the club with the ownership of Vinik, and we all knew that. 25 years, basically, and we all knew the exact dynamic of everything. And now what we have is Vinay, former Gooner, in charge, running stuff day-to-day. And you have the Lewis family as the owners of the club. And yet, it's the same people.
Yeah, these people were put in charge when Lewis decided to tell people how to bid on stocks. They were then put in charge.
Come on now. The poor, look, that poor billionaire was just helping his millionaire pilot earn a few more millions. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I only see something wrong with it because I wasn't involved.
Poor chap, poor buddy. Anyway,
but they've been in charge pretty much since then anyway, haven't they? Because he gave the club into the trustee. The trustees are his children.
Honestly, mate, he's not been involved. Like, he's
for a long time.
No, I mean, he's the owner of Enoch, and like, I think he attended all the 2 games, whereas his daughter and others have been in and around the club for quite some time. So, look, there is so much stuff out there, there's rumour, innuendo. I know from 2 people who would know, so I would say it's first-hand and therefore fact. And then there are rumours on top of that Mr. Levy and Lewis's daughter did not get on.
Yes.
Like, that came across quite strongly.
Yeah.
And it feels, to me, a bit of the Night of the Long Knives happened and she got rid of him.
Yeah.
Now, there's a certain level of brutality to this because she basically lined up his replacement to have him in there being trained by Daniel before he replaced him, which...
Yeah, there's... Vinay kind of put out this statement in the programme, and it was thanking Daniel for how welcome he's made me and how he's helped me settle in. Like, you might as well put in brackets to his office.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Just want to say a big thanks to Daniel for the tour of my office. So it was his office, but now it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a strange thing, and in the funny, like, so much is being written, like, oh, Tottenham, the Lewis family are putting money in, they're doing this, they're doing that. We've heard it all before. From these very people. Like, this isn't like a new ownership have bought the club and have gone, right, we're buying the club, we're clearing the debt, and we're putting this much in because we want to see us sign players to win stuff. And everyone's like, okay, we know exactly what's going to happen, brilliant. It's kind of like, yeah, we want to win, we got rid of Daniel, everything's going to be good. But the proof's in the pudding, so January, we'll see if anything happens of any note.
When we bid £70 million for a player that's never going to sign for us 3 hours before the window closes, then we'll know nothing's changed.
Exactly. See, you get it. Yeah. There we are. It's an interesting time. But on the pitch, Thomas Frank is. He said in an interview, which I was pleased to hear, and therefore I give him the kind of a chance to correct this. He was shocked, dismayed, and generally pissed off by the performance before the international break. He was like, you can lose football matches, but to put no effort in, like to not put a glove on them at all, it was really poor. So paraphrasing him there, he wasn't impressed, and okay, I know what needs to be done to. He took a bit of blame himself, which I thought was interesting, saying I didn't prepare the team properly for that game. Bournemouth played really well. They're a very good side. Yada yada yada. So okay, all right. Well, before the next international break, we will see if there's a marked improvement.
Yeah, I was disappointed by that game, but more so at the effort. At the same time, that Bournemouth team have already shown this season with their performance against Liverpool at the start of the season and stuff. They're a decent team, and they're going to take points off the top clubs. So we had to go into that game fully committed to try and get something, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And if you're going to play against a team that are the quality that Bournemouth have on their day, anything less than 100%, you're not going to get a win. So I'm now hoping that Thomas Frank has seen that, has acknowledged that, and the next international break, which is in October, end
probably.
of October, I think it is, because why actually play league games when you can go play internationals? Hopefully, the game before that, we are going to see a very different kind of performance.
I'd like to think so. History would suggest we won't. I mean, you just touched on something then, which, to be honest with you, is something that's a bit of a kind of. You go around some of the leagues around the world, probably most leagues around the world. There are games the top sides can switch off for. Like you look at some of the league, like Germany, for example. Bayern have to show up for maybe 6 games a season. 8, maybe.
If they don't get at least 1-7-0 win this season, they've done poorly.
Yeah, I mean, in Holland, Ajax probably 3 games, 3 teams. Portugal, there's maybe 3 teams. Spain, 5.
Portugal,
6
there's
teams.
3 teams and then the rest of a league of clubs that you go, is that a real team?
Yeah. But my point is, in England, there is no easy game. Like, we discussed it so many times. Like, last season, the 3 clubs that were relegated were by far the poorest teams in the league.
Yeah.
They took points off us all the time, of course, but we were having a mad season. But it was the first time in quite a while when I felt like the 3 promoted sides were clearly unable to compete.
Yeah.
But this season, like previous seasons before it, the newly promoted sides are already showing that they're going to fight, they're going to take points.
Sunderland are currently, 7th in the league or something crazy at the moment?
Yeah, so my point is, there is no game where, in the Premier League especially, where you can go, oof, okay, ease off, second strings on, we're okay. There just isn't. So the idea that the side going into any game should be anything other than 100%. Bournemouth at home, with the greatest respect to Bournemouth and how good they are, we should be targeting 3 points there. That should be a game we are looking to win. I say that with everybody, but that losing that game was, you can lose football matches, but to me, like you said, the effort was unacceptable. And to say, the effort wasn't acceptable, needs to be better. The proof, with the ownership, the proof's in the pudding. Like you said, the next international break is here in under a month. we have to show that we've learnt a lesson. Otherwise, I'm going to be rolling my eyes so hard it calls like a typhoon somewhere. It just, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's too much to just, too many coaches, too many different things. And this isn't an attack on Frank, really. It's just an attack on us as a club. Like, you can only do that so often. Like, the opposition, they're bloody good, mine, aren't they? Well, yeah, they're a Premier League team.
They have to be good to have got in that division. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, well, all right. We'll see. We'll see what happens next. We have played 2 games, however, since last we spoke and since we lost that Bournemouth game. We returned to Premier League action at the weekend where we travelled to West Ham United, your other team that you love passionately. And
yes.
Interestingly, so to me, it's a weird thing, right? So whenever we play West Ham, I have this nagging thing in the back of my head that we're going to arrive thinking, it's West Ham. Whereas they arrive like, this is it. This is our game.
Yeah.
And somehow West Ham, who have been shite for every single game coming up to this, turn into peak Barcelona from the late 90s, and we look shite. They look amazing, and it's embarrassing. And it's happened time and time again.
Yeah.
So do you want to comment on your beloved West Ham, on how they played? Because, like, for me, I thought they were absolutely shocking.
I mean, you've only got to look at the amount of empty seats by the end of that game.
The COVID era match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God. There was, like, most of the stadium had left by the time the final whistle went.
Is there a fire drill?
I loved that. That coming across was quite fun to hear.
Yeah.
We outplayed them, start to finish. Absolutely outplayed them.
But and I want to give us some credit here, but they were awful. Like, not just kind of like we got into them, dominated, everything like that. Like, I watched, like, the bare minimum I expect from West Ham playing us is that they're going to be the first to every challenge, the second ball. They're going to kick us. They're going to be fired up. The crowd are going to be fired up. I'd say within 10 minutes the crowd was flat. Within 20 minutes they were checking their watch, wondering when they could leave. And like you said, 20 minutes from the end of the game, the exodus started. And by the time that game finished, it genuinely, you could hear the players talking to each other.
Yeah.
It was like a COVID game. It was
quiet.
insane to me how empty that stadium got.
Yeah, it was crazy.
If you were in charge there, I mean, Graham Potter, without a shadow of a doubt, is a talented coach. He showed that prior to going to Chelsea. And like with so many players and coaches before, Chelsea was the absolute poison chalice for him. Do you stick it out knowing that you've got arguably one of the best English coaches there is? Because I think he is. Like, he genuinely is. And do you keep working to build it back? Or do you look at that with the fans leaving, which is the biggest issue you're going to face, and think to yourself, well, I know the international break's just gone, but which would have been the perfect time to make a change, but we're in shit here. We need to fire him.
I think I know a lot of the regular listeners are going to laugh very much when I say this, but at the moment it genuinely seems like a race between Man United and West Ham as to who's going to sack their manager first. Yeah. Or which board is willing to let enough shit slide before they go, okay, enough now.
Well, it's interesting because there's a few managers, coaches available at the moment that you would think could come in and do a job. So, for example, if you look at West Ham right now where they're at, they're very similar to where Nottingham Forest were when Nuno took over there. Oh, bollocks.
We don't talk about no. We don't talk about no.
Anyway, so that guy, when he went in at Forest, turned them around. Like, you know, style of football wasn't great, but very effective.
Yeah.
Which is similar to what Moyes has done at West Ham a couple of times. And then they just happily get rid of him for someone who's going to try and get him playing better football, and then it never works. So, with him available, I did kind of think to myself that maybe they'd pull the trigger. And the other one, of course, was Jose. Jose's become available, who famously said, find me a team battling at the bottom of the Premier League and that's the job I want. He's still got a house in London. So you'd kind of think to yourself, well, there's an appointment for him if they wanted to make a change.
Yep.
Rumours now, of course, is Benfica sacked their manager last night after losing the carrier bag, who we got mocked for beating, which is hilarious. But yeah, apparently Jose going back to Benfica could be a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, good luck to them all on that front.
That'd be interesting. I mean, even looking at the likes of Southgate sat there waiting for the right job to come up.
Well,
he was,
yeah,
very much an international manager, better than his club management, but time has passed.
I mean, yeah, but he's shy. That's not, you know, if you're going to fire Potter and bring in Southgate, I mean, are the fans going to like that? I don't know. I mean, you're a West Ham fan. What do you think?
I think I'd actually prefer Southgate there than I would Potter if I was a West Ham fan.
No, it's been said now. Thank you for interacting on that premise. We did win the game. We won it well, 3-0. I did laugh at just how hard Kudus was trying to score. Because there's a whole thing, isn't it? Like, you score against your former club and you do the whole hands up. Oh, no! Sorry, everyone. Didn't mean to. I get the impression he'd have ran around the fucking stadium if he'd scored.
Remember Adebayor scoring against Arsenal and doing the entire length of the pitch to slide?
Loved that, yeah.
That is the sort of thing that I would actually fully on expect him to do.
It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny to me that, because I think maybe he arrived with a kind of expectation of, oh, they're going to boo me a bit, and it was quite vitriolic. And then I just got the impression as the game went on, especially when he was showboating.
Yeah,
like,
he was.
That was kind of really a massive fuck you to their fans for getting on his back. But yeah, no, we did the job. They weren't good, but we went there, 3-0 win, a clean sheet in the league again, which, you know, more clean sheets than a launderette right now, which is kind of crazy for us. So yeah, I mean, I was delighted with it. The next game in the league, of course, is Brighton away, a very difficult place to go and get anything. Brighton this season, I've watched them a couple of times, and they looked as equally good in one game as they looked crap in the other.
Yeah, I can't quite work out what's going on. Like, they've had a couple of really good seasons. And then this season does seem to be very like, oh, here we go, they're back. And then they'll do something else. You'll be like, don't worry.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's ridiculously early in the season. We're 4 games in, so it's obvious. You know, like, you cannot write anyone off, and you cannot say anyone's like the best team right now. But one thing, I was chatting to my brother about it, because we were talking about the Brighton model in the sense of recruiting brilliantly, but always selling.
Yeah.
And we sort of said, we said, and we could be horrifically wrong, but we said in the Premier League, given how competitive it is, at some point, that's going to backfire. Like, at some point, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because, like, you think of that as, I think of doing that as like the Ajax thing. Ajax recruit young players from across Europe brilliantly. Their academy is very, very good. They develop them, they play, they become superstars. Like in Holland, they are sold for big, big money. And Ajax, you know, the wheel keeps turning. Ajax just keep going. But, of course, the Dutch league, as we said a minute ago, other than maybe 2-3 teams you're playing, you are playing against inferior opposition a lot of the time. In the Premier League, that's not it. And also, if you've got that kind of philosophy and you've got that, then your players are becoming less Brighton till I die and more Brighton till Chelsea sign me.
I'm Brighton till I go to London. I'm Brighton till I go to London. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? It's like you all of a sudden, is that guy going to put in that extra yard? Is he going to make that tackle when he's in the back of his mind? You're not the club. You're a stepping stone. Yeah, and
yeah.
So me and my brother were chatting about. We were just sort of like, at some point, possibly, and we could be proven wrong. It feels like that model could actually come back to bite him in the ass. Whether that's this season, of course, is completely material. And whether it ever happens is completely up in the air. But that's what we were talking about. And it is just interesting that, like I said, it's 4 games in. And like I said, I've watched them a couple of times. And I thought they were brilliant in one game. And then in the other game, just like, wow, this is... Like, they don't look like they've met each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, what on earth is going on, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
So I genuinely can't make a prediction on that game. I'd like to think we go there, play a little bit better and keep developing ourselves, but I'm really not sure. We did return to the Champions League though last night, as me and Lee recorded this. The music played, the tifo was incredible.
That was special.
Yeah,
that
well
was
done.
Really, really nice.
Yeah, well done to both the club and the fan group for organising that. I think it's THFC flags, etc. They worked really hard to get that done, and everyone in the South Stand, well done for doing that, because I do think it has an impact. I do think that gives everyone a lift. Like, I think just add something special, and showing them dumb fucks down the road how it's done is always good. Strange game to me, because the own goal that gave us the lead was freaking hilarious. And there's this whole thing about like, oh, I really feel for that keeper. But there's this amazing video footage and photo of the moment he realises what's happened. And the look on his face, mate, this is going to be replayed forever. He just, like, the look on his face as he realised this, not only is it squirted out of his hands, it is just slowly trickling over the line.
It's like, oh, there it goes. I can't do anything to stop
all he can do is just watch it happen, and it is brutal, but funny for us.
I mean, yeah, as the opposition, fucking brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the next level. I mean, what I will say though, and this is going to sound maybe a little Nelly negative. After that happened, I would want us as a team to be friggin' hammering crossing, like spam crossing it in, make the guy work, like make that guy is clearly rattled, like get at him, like really start drilling the ball in right under his friggin' like nose. Because there were several times we did do that and he looked shaky again. Like he looked like his confidence was ropey. He tried to do a punch at one point and just like mistimed it, but sort of luckily got it far enough away. And I just don't feel like we did that. I don't feel like we did enough. In fact, in the attacking third, I thought we were pretty poor. In the entirety of overall the quality in the final third was poor. I mean, they never managed a shot on target all night. So Vicario, kind of had a bit of a armchair ride. I will say they definitely should have scored. The guy missed what I would say is one of the best chances in the game without a shadow of a doubt, and against better opposition. And that's not discounting them; they're a good side, but you get a better finisher and. It's 1-1 very, very quickly in that game. Yeah. So we were a little bit lucky there. But we didn't offer a lot going forward. Like we as a side, I felt our midfield looked good, energetic, but so many times you saw our players bring the ball forward. There was space. The crowd were up. And then the move just died. It was like there was no options available. There was like no one was... I don't know. It was bizarre. And the ball would go backwards. It was a really, really odd... offensively, it just was poor. Like, the game was there. And that game could have been... Like I said, with a bit of luck, bad luck, it would have been 1-1 at one point. But really, with the way we were able to go forward at times, I really can't believe we didn't do more with it. The Porro whipped in a couple of really great crosses, but looked a little fatigued for me, Porro. I mean, he's played every minute of every game again, including for Spain when he went off, so he just didn't look quite at it for me. Jed Spence looked very nervous, but grew into the game, which I was delighted with. Van der Ven and Romero appeared to be having who can do the best last-ditch tackle competition at one point, which was kind of funny, and they both looked good. Van der Ven was quite clumsy towards the end, and I mean, it's kind of funny because he's really lucky that's not a penalty. Well, he fouled him outside the box. I mean, you'd have to be pretty fucking unlucky to give away a penalty outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
I'm not quite sure.
That referee last night, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, as refereeing performances go, he was awful. He didn't have control of the game, and then once he realised he lost control, he just started booking everyone for nothing. I will say Xavi was very lucky to stay on the pitch. His first booking he got was bullshit, but he then committed a foul in the second half that 100% was a yellow, and he didn't get it.
Yeah.
The referee clearly in his mind thought, well, I'll have to send him off. I'll let him get away with this one, but he's making the effort defensively to try and get back in and put a boot in and stuff. Clearly, it's not his game, which is fine. But yeah, he was very lucky to stay on the pitch. I will be critical a little bit of Thomas Frank because shortly before that happened, he made a double change. And I said in our little group chat, it's like, well, Xavi and Richie both look fatigued. They're both on yellow cards. This referee clearly seems to want to, make a name for himself tonight. If you're going to make a change right now, those two need to come off. And we didn't do it. And a couple of minutes later, he then puts his challenge in, and I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Yeah, but luckily got away with it, and then him and Richie were hooked. So I did think to myself that was a bit of a madness. That was a real chance. The irony, of course, is we then gave a debut to Kolo Muani, who came on, and before he touched the ball, got booked.
Yes.
Which okay, great. So we brought him on because the guys were booked and were having to work hard, and it was like they were going to get a red card. We bring on a sub, he's on the field for all of 10 seconds and he gets booked.
It's good job. Okay, yeah.
Well done, mate. You can really put yourself about now, can't you? I mean, he offered nothing, but the subs in general didn't. I mean, Brennan Johnson came on and I genuinely wondered if at one point he was even on the pitch. There was no...
He didn't have the influence anyone would have probably expected. He's come on before and he's done quite well. Last night there was just nothing.
I think that there's a thing with Brennan Johnson where he has a very good finisher's instinct, and if you get him in the right positions, he can be a real predator, and he clearly has that ability to time his runs, etc., etc. But we as a side so far that I've seen under Thomas Frank are not showing any of that attacking structure or impetus that he did so well in last season.
Yeah.
And he came on and it would appear the structure or the plan when he came on was defend. Like, just come on, don't give up. Like, we got 3 points here. I don't know. I'm conscious of anything I say that sounds like I'm overtly or inadvertently discussing Thomas Frank. People are going to roll their eyes at because I've made it clear I don't like him. So I do feel that maybe I've set myself up here, but I will say that in the games I've watched this season, we do look a lot more structured and solid. You know, you can't dispute that. 5 games, conceded just 1 goal. So, I mean, well, 6 games, 3 goals, I guess. The PSG Super Cup. But
yeah.
Domestically and now into the Champions League, it's 5 games, conceded 1 goal, 4 clean sheets. You know, the 1 goal we conceded, but my fear and what I'm concerned about is I'm not seeing a real incredible not credible. I'm not seeing any sort of attacking structure.
Yep.
And so that worries me. It worries me because I'm like, you look at the players on the pitch last night, like Xavi, Kudus, Richie. None of those 3 had a chance. Like, there was, towards the end, there was a brilliant cross that Richie tried to get in on the end of. But, I mean, none of those 3 fashioned an opportunity even, to hit one in anger. Do you know what I mean? It just kind of...
Yeah, and Frank did talk about, didn't he? At the end of the game, I've seen it. I didn't watch the interviews, but I've read some bits on there, and it does seem like he has addressed that he was disappointed at going forward. Like, he was very happy with the midfield, the defence, but he was disappointed in the lack of opportunities the front have created.
Yeah.
Now, for me, the fact that he's kind of seeing that and going, yeah, okay, that's an issue, that means hopefully that it's going to get worked on. So, that's a good start.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, I run the risk now of anything I say. People just be like, it's because you don't like him. But, I look at these things and I sort of have these things in my mind of, like, my preconceived fears, if you like.
Yeah.
And right now I'm kind of like, this is where I was worried. Because really, offensively, long throws, set pieces was our only real weapon in that game. And it just, I don't know, it's just not... you look at the players we got there and we should be offering a lot more than that.
Yes.
Villarreal was brilliant. I mean, he got man of the match, and I thought was incredible from start to finish. Like really kind of, I think people watching that game across Europe, seeing him, would have all gone, bloody hell, who's this kid? Which is both great and not so great in equal measure. I thought Bentancur was really good. Paulinho, when he came on, did the job perfectly. Of breaking
up
things
play
up.
and yeah.
Yeah, Sarr again was excellent. I mean, Sarr hit an effort which was just wide, but I mean, he freaking meant that. And he's really in form at the moment, which is great to see. So yeah, the midfield was good. Romero, Van der Ven, excellent. I felt Porro looked fatigued. Like I said, I felt Spence looked a bit nervous, but grew into the game. Vicario was good with everything he had to do, which was very little. But yeah, Kudus and Xavi for me both started brilliantly. Kudus standing up his man, beating men, getting the ball. I think Xavi, again, taking the ball forward, looked brilliant. Was willing to put his foot in. But yeah, just something wasn't clicking in the final third. Villarreal defend very well. By the way, how great was Juan Foyth? That is a defender who we signed and a lot of people were a bit dismissive of. Was clearly, Pochettino was thinking he's going to be something special. And here we are years later, he's captain in Villarreal. He's the international teammate of Romero.
He is a very, very good player.
The two of them in the tunnel did make me smile. International teammates, friends, played together in the under-20s, under-23s for Argentina, now both in the international full team. They're captain of the two teams. They, you see all these foreign players like seeing each other, they're like, mate, and they're all over each other.
Yeah.
And you got those two shake hands, and then that's it, face forward, like, we will go to war now.
Yeah, I know you, you know me. That is as far as this goes.
Yeah, it was very like, we are not amigos anymore, my friend.
Yeah, very much.
Make you my bitch. A Ted Lasso quote there. Overall, winning is the most important thing to get you going in the Champions League. It was Thomas Frank's first ever game in European football, let alone just the Champions League, and we won. And I think perhaps that has to be the kind of, okay, that's it. That's the be all and end all. We won the game. We now move on to the next game. I was delighted with the fans' effort. It wasn't a sellout, which is something the club need to look at. The pricing, etc., etc. We should be selling out that stadium for Champions League nights.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
And so that's something the club really need to reconsider, because you only, a brief glance and into social media heading into the game would tell you exactly where the problem was and how many people were struggling, and then the cost is just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not finishing work, then racing across, the country to get there and spending X. It's just too much. So yeah, that's something the club need to address very, very quickly. It would be a very simple change for them. It garners some goodwill, but there's all these little tests coming up for the new stewardship of the club, whether they will actually do things any differently.
It's going to be interesting to see.
But there's a lot of very easy PR wins for them if they want them. But we're going to see if they actually do or not. Overall, beating West Ham's great, beating Villarreal is great. We play Brighton next, like I said. How do you feel the season started? Like, if you're sort of from all the games you've watched, how are you feeling on things right now? Do you feel like we're going in a good direction? Do you have any concerns? Where's your head at?
I'm happy, mate. To be honest with you, I'm happy.
Okay. That was simple.
To be where we are in the league, how we're performing, we're seeing new performances. Obviously, you loved the whole Ange ball sort of way of playing. That has gone.
Yeah.
I think we are playing a bit more of a defensive style, but we do look a lot more solid at the back now.
Yeah.
1 goal conceded so far in the league. Yeah, I'm happy so far, to be honest.
Does it not concern you that 1 goal conceded was in a defeat 1-0 where we offered nothing going forward?
But then we played West Ham and ripped them apart.
But West Ham were awful.
They were, but we won we beat what was in front of us. Now, obviously, the Bournemouth game was a disappointing game. But, no, overall, I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm hoping that lessons are being learnt. If we go to the next international break and we see the exact same thing again before the international break, then I will have reason to be concerned because we're not learning and addressing issues.
Okay. For me, my concerns are still there. I'm watching this and I'm feeling very kind of reminiscent to me of when the bloke who I'm not going to say his name again took charge. Nice and solid, but offering very little going the other way. And in the minute teams get on top of us, we're going to struggle. The Man City performance really inspired me because we were energetic at it. We were creating chances. We were defending well in numbers, and the PSG game right up until they got back into it, like, I think we tired in that game and they got better.
Yeah.
I look at those performances and think, okay, there is something there. Okay, this is interesting. But like Villarreal last night, other than a freak own goal, we really didn't create anything. West Ham were so bad, I would say that the Boy Scouts troop number 12 from, Kensington, second 11 blind team could have created chances. They were that bad in my opinion. So tearing them apart, yeah, you can only beat what's in front of you 100%, but I don't think tearing them apart really demonstrates anything other than you showed up and they didn't. So that is a concern to me. That like we're going to Brighton this weekend, and we need to offer more in attack. Now, is that numbers thing? Like, is that a kind of, like, you look at our formation, like the sort of 4-3-3 that we're playing, the midfield three, are they offering enough going forward? Like, I was chatting in the group chat with Ryan last night, and he was sort of saying about Xavi as being a 10. He wants to see like the 3 behind the striker, and then I'm saying to him, it's like, well, which of the midfield are you sacrificing? Because right now they're all doing their jobs brilliantly.
Yeah.
And then like you go to Brighton, you really want to have Palhinha in there, in my opinion. Like you really want to have him in there doing his job, and then you're like, okay, well, you want Sarr, that energy is at next level. Villarreal's kind of undroppable right now.
Villarreal's playing, like, he is a generational, I reckon, talent. He's phenomenal.
He's really showing it. But then, like I said, where do you go? Like, who's going to play where? Who's going to do what? You've got Archie Gray struggling to even make the bench in the Premier League at the moment. So yeah, there's a lot of players there. There's a lot of quality there, but it's that final third, like that. If this, like Thomas Frank keeps talking about, like, if this is the foundation we've built, and this is the kind of structure and the way we're playing and showing things, and then we can show a real kind of attacking intent as well, with pace, etc. in it, then I'm going to be very, very happy. But right now, other than the Man City game, I've not seen that. Like, it seemed quite lethargic at times. And the fact, like, anywhere between 3 and 5 occasions last night, we took the ball forward, there was space to run into, and we literally put our foot on the ball and passed it backwards. And I'm like, that's mad. And don't get me wrong, I get it, there were no options, etc., or like no one could get free, but we need, like, there needs to be better than that. People need to be breaking their necks to make a run or something, because otherwise we're not going to break teams down. It's going to be a real, once teams kind of figure out, okay, well, Tottenham can't offer shite going forward, so we'll just overload and we'll do this and we'll do this. Or once a team scores against us, like Bournemouth did, that's it. It's kind of like game over because we're not offering anything. So my hope is, starting with the Brighton game, we're going to show that a little bit more. My concern goes back to what I said right at the very start when we appointed Thomas Frank, etc., etc. This is a 4 competition season, something he has never managed. Mm-hmm. And I am just concerned that, like, we looked tired last night, and 4 or 5 games into a season, we shouldn't look like that, in my humble opinion. Mm-hmm. We shall see if the PE teacher can do anything or not. But yeah, mate, anything else you want to chat about in all the mad world of Tottenham, or are you ready to wrap up?
No, I think we've covered all the bits. The only thing we haven't covered, are we doing anything with the loans this week, or are we leaving that till next week?
Nope. So the loan players will be the final show in the month, every month going forward, where I'm going to do a summary of where we're at with all the players. If you want a weekly update on the loan situation, We are doing that on our website, and we are putting that out every Monday, just before lunch, sort of. Probably be posted at a page anywhere between 10 and 12, so you got that for lunchtime reading. It's like a statistical breakdown of where the players are in that current week. So that's every single Monday for the entire season. Obviously, it's and some of the times it'd be during international breaks as well, because some of the lower leagues and stuff will still be playing. But that's available. Look that up. It's quite good. It's informative. Admin Ryan's been doing that, and he's been looking up stats and all sorts from the games, and he's putting them all in there. So it's quite good. But once a month, so the last show of the month, every month I'm going to do a summary of where we're at and give my opinion on the loan and how the players are getting on. I will just mention Luka Vuskovic opened, so his very first game for Hamburg in Germany was against Bayern Munich and up against Harry Kane. They lost 5-0, and when I saw that I was like, oh no. Kid's like central defender, he's lost his first game 5-0. What's that going to do to his confidence? And then every single post-match report had him down as the outstanding player on the pitch. 18 years old, making his Bundesliga debut, lost 5-0 to Bayern, but everyone was just raving about him. So without
Can't complain there then, can you?
Yeah, so without him, I dread to think how Hamburg would have handled that game. He lost 5-0 with the best defender on the pitch. And they do this thing on Google where you can do fan ratings.
Yes.
So if you're watching a game, you can like tick the way you think, and he was the highest rated player on there for that.
Oh, nice.
So again, 18 years old, Bundesliga debut. But every Monday you'll see the updates, and the end of every month I'll do the loan update here. Other than that, we'll call it then. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for listening as always. We will be back next week to talk about the Brighton game. Until then, everybody, you all take care.
And come on, you Spurs.
Thank you for listening to the Spurs News Podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Stay up to date with all things Tottenham. Follow us on social media. All links are in the podcast description.